applause for Frank, please. I think we've all experienced that feeling that Frank speaks of, and it's just really beautiful to acknowledge that all together. I'm not even going to try and play it cool for the next person that's speaking, because she's already a bit of a legend to me. But she's brought some very special guests with her today as well. Please be extra lovely and give a huge round of applause to broadcaster, biologist and president of the Wildlife Trust. It is Liz Bonin, everyone!
Thank you for the lovely intro. Hi everyone, it's so amazing to see your beautiful faces. This is what connection is all about. Everything in nature is interconnected and interdependent. We are nature, and how we live on this earth affects these connections. And now we know the undeniable truth. And we're all here to say today that the game is up. Intensive industries, corporate greed and political systems unfit for purpose are destroying the planet's life support systems that we rely on to thrive, and blatantly disregarding our fundamental human rights for societal well-being. The UK is supposedly the 6th most powerful country in the world, according to a measure that was never designed for that purpose, GDP, that we still adhere to. But we have human sewage and toxic agricultural runoff polluting 100% of our waterways in England. Is this really what success looks like? No, it isn't. We are not consumers to be used to prop up a corrupt system favoring just 1% of the population. We are humans who feel, who love, who dream, who think, a species existing for the tiniest blink of an eye in the planet's history, so closely related to each other, all hailing from the same small spot in Africa. We are so deeply connected to each other, and all of us deserve a healthy natural world so that all of life can thrive. Today, you are making your voices heard, harnessing the power of community and connection, and when we come together, great things can happen. And the thing is, so many great things are already happening all around the world, from powerful gatherings like this that we know have helped to end so many unjust systems in our history, to environmental law organizations and citizens coming together to hold polluters and governments to account and winning cases all the time, all around the world, to ecological economists working to transform the economy so it doesn't wreck the planet, to business communities already coming together to prioritize nature above profits and infinite growth. All of them proving that true success, true progress, and the health of the planet are not mutually exclusive. That it is entirely possible to have a thriving natural world, a thriving society, and a thriving economy. The thing is, though, we don't hear about these positive news stories enough. If too many of us knew, if we could see these solutions in action, the ripple effect of change would build such momentum that those hanging on to this inequitable and destructive corporate system with clawed hands would lose their grip. So, let's be the ones to share those stories. Let us be the positive news that we need to hear. When you go home after this empowering, amazing gathering, please share the story of today and share everything you've heard and are learning about from all our amazing speakers today. Talk about all of this far and wide. And also tell the stories of the extraordinary young humans who have come here today to speak up for their rivers, for their lakes and their coastlines, and who are already showing us what true leadership looks like. It's a huge honor to introduce them to you today. This is the best bit of my day. And our first speaker is Ramandeep Najjar. She's trustee for Birmingham and Black Country Wildlife Trust, and she's a member of the Youth for Nature organization, amongst many other organizations. Please give her a warm welcome, everybody.
I'm so grateful to have been given the opportunity to speak today amongst such committed speakers. As a young person, we often feel the sense of urgency, pressure and need for action regarding environmental issues because we are the generation of the future and will be most affected by the decisions made and actions taken. However, seeing you all in front of me fills me with so much hope and strength as we all unite together with our shared humanity to give a helpful voice for our waterways and seas. When I have experienced blue spaces, I've often felt a sense of peace, mental stillness and healing, so I want more individuals to be able to experience this too. In addition, freshwater ecosystems provide diverse habitats that boost biodiversity, so they need to be restored and protected for the benefit of all wildlife, people and the planet. I would strongly encourage you to build on the momentum of the march and continue to take action in any way you can. Finally, share your personal stories, as one single story told the right way can create waves of change. Thank you.
We're all going to hang out on stage and give everybody else a bit of support. Okay, so our next speaker is a very good friend of mine. He is a naturalist, an incredibly talented writer and artist. His name is Benjamin Fallow. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Hello, I'm Benjamin Fallow. Thanks for listening to me today. Water is life and we can't survive without it. I painted this to show how our rivers can be if they're not polluted. On our local river, I've seen dragonflies, damselflies, cormorants, geese, and once I saw a kingfisher. I'd been hoping to see one all my life, and that flash of colour, the brightest blue, was incredible. Sir David Attenborough said, all wildlife is dependent on water, but our rivers and seas in the UK are in trouble. At the moment, raw sewage, chemical pollutants and farm waste are dumped into our waterways. Every single river is polluted. They're so polluted they present major risks to human health and massive damage to nature. We're asking the government to end the poisoning of our rivers, lakes and seas. You are the people with the power to stop polluting our waterways so that wildlife, nature and us children can thrive. We're here asking you to fight for clean water and our future. We're not separate from nature, we're part of nature too, and we can't survive without it.
Okay, our next young speaker, I think you know this young chap. He's a young science explorer, artist, conservationist. He's only 9 years old and he's already a force of nature. Anish Warkunchala, take it away.
Hello, London! How are you all? As we all know, in the UK, water pollution is mainly caused by the water industry. So how do we fix it? Grown-ups in that building are struggling to make right choices, so they need to listen to our voices and come up with solutions that would prevent the water industry from disposing chemicals and harmful sewage into our rivers and seas. One thing we all can do is definitely trying to restore our wetlands and woodlands, which naturally reduce pollution. Another thing the government can do is making more green spaces in our towns and cities, which naturally reduce the excess water and in turn reduce water pollution, which is when the sewage goes into our rivers and seas. It's not over yet, though. Water pollution is a much bigger problem than we see. More animals live in the water than on land, and they choke to death because of the lack of oxygen in our polluted waters. I know, it's terrible, absolutely terrible. But one thing we all can do is stop poisoning Britain's waters. Let's say it again, this time very loud and clear, in the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Stop poisoning Britain's waters. I can't hear you. One more time. Poisoning Britain's waters. Come on, we can do better. One more time. Stop poisoning Britain's waters. That's it.
Okay, well, how good are our young speakers, honestly. They're putting our real apparent leaders to shame. Can I just introduce to you a passionate advocate, especially for restoring the health of chalk streams, working with his local wildlife trust as well. This is Callum Colley.
Good afternoon, and thank you to everyone here for coming. But I now have a question for you. Who here wants the mess that our rivers are in cleaned up? I'd expect that to be all of you. Can we have a louder one, please? But to tackle the crisis and the sewage scandal, we're going to need some solutions. And firstly, I join the speaker from the GMB in calling for publicly owned water, so that our money that taxpayers are paying actually goes to the right causes and not shareholders and dividends. But this will not be enough to deal with the crisis our waters are facing. A change in the way we handle sewage, that is what is necessary. We must address the core issue of stormwater, i.e. rainwater, from our buildings, our streets and our urban centres entering the sewers, as this causes them to overflow, causing major pollution. Now, a great way to deal with this is through stormwater balancing ponds, which I know the Wildlife Trust are a great advocate for, where stormwater is instead diverted to nature reserves and artificial lakes, where it provides great habitats for migratory birds. Therefore, stormwater balancing ponds not only help wildlife, not only reduce flood risk, they keep stormwater and sewage out of our precious waterways. And while I don't have time to go into all the legislation on this matter, because it is quite complicated, bear with me and come on, the people in that building over there, legislate more and expand the current legislation to deal with this crisis and stop stormwater entering our sewers. And can we have a loud cheer? Stop stormwater entering our sewers. Stop stormwater entering our sewers. There you go. One last time. Stop stormwater entering our sewers. Stop stormwater entering our sewers. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to give our young speakers looks like. Well done, everybody.
Guys, one more massive round of applause for Liz and basically the future. Come on! So many emotions I felt just then, and I'd honestly rather hand over to one of these guys to do the whole job. But are you ready for the next speaker of the afternoon?